Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. On Tuesday, I had written to Pujaswami Tejomayananda for various reasons, but particularly to meet him because I'll be in Bharat next month. When Sheila had come home that morning after dropping off the kids, she said, "You're not going to believe what Vyasa said." And I'm waiting for her to say, that he doesn't like this person or he swore in this particular way. But he said, "I want to meet Guruji." He said that to Sheila as she was driving him to school. He had so many questions about why doesn't he come to Canada and so on. And the reason he asked this is because we have a CD, an old CD from a Bhagavata Saptaha that I was part of at the ashram that I force our kids to listen to in the morning. And it's working. That exposure is creating these seeds of nobility, at least in Vyasa. We don't know about Shuka, not Sheila, sort of me. And that is the vision of meaningful mornings. The exposure to a community that's trying to be noble makes us open. Just like in the sense of this 5-year-old being open to meeting the 75-year-old master. In chapter 11, verses 9 to 11, we're being taught how diversity looks in unity. I use these words many times in the last chapter. Now we're seeing this, or shared in a different way. It is the vibhuti in the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa means cosmic form or divine showing. A specialty verse in this section is verse 12. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapaduttita Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasyad Bhasatastasya Mahatmanaha. If the splendor of 1,000 suns was to blaze all at once in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being. The implication of this verse is that the sun's light is great. The light of 1,000 suns would be the greatest, but the source of that light is Sri Krishna. Personalizing this, if you reflect on all of your achievements in life, if you reflect on the greatness of your equipment, you can run fast, you can analyze well, that's all great, that's the greatest, but beyond the greatest is awareness. It is because of awareness that you can analyze well. It's because of awareness that you've had any achievement. This is how we can personalize this. Whenever, in this case, Sanjaya, Rishi Vyasa, they take the infinite and they compare the infinite. It's like 1,000 suns. These verses are to be contemplated on more. The infinite is incomparable, but we're very comparison oriented. So our master teachers are using the way we think, but us using the mind means that we have to contemplate on these. See how this relates to us. Similar thought in verse 13. Tatraikastam jagat kritsnam pravibhaktam anekadha apashyad deva devasya sharire pandavastada. As Prince Arjuna is looking out, tatra, there, ekastam, in this oneness, in this one entity, jagat kritsnam, the entire multiverse is seen. But not just seen, remember, felt with the knowledge that there is unity amongst this multiverse. Pravibhakta manekada, with all its divisions. If you just take our solar system, there's so many facets. The sun, the planets, the comets. So all of this, as explained in this multiverse, is in Sri Krishna. Apashya deva devasya. Looking at Sri Krishna, Prince Arjuna saw the God of gods. Amongst the semi-gods, there is a master of the semi-gods, and that is Sri Krishna. Sharire pandavastada. In this, Prince Arjuna saw. He saw this in Sri Krishna's body. An implication of this, Prince Arjuna is not able to see all of this with his eyes. You and I can't even see the sun, a single sun, with our eyes directly. Yes? So him being able to see the different facets of the multiverse in one entity, this seeing actually implies that he's not seeing with his eyes. And so for us, how we can be like Prince Arjuna is to reduce our body identification. As long as you're highly body identified, your sense of I is this, you will try to see the greatest, you'll try to see God, but that's not possible. And in trying to see that, you'll be denying yourself feeling this. Reduce this notion that you are this body. Now, some may be asking, but how do you do that? I'm designed to feel this is the body. In July, one of the youth camps for high school students I'm facilitating is called Embracing Discomfort. Embracing discomfort. And so for all of us, the messaging is choose discomfort. If you have a choice to make between this path and that path, choose the less comfortable path. Choose the path that makes you think you're this body less. It's okay to be hungry sometimes for us. It's okay to be cold sometimes, and so on. Verse 14. Before we get to this, I want to remind everyone of some thoughts I was sharing a couple of days ago. A shishya, or a disciple, is someone who needs to know what is life. Who am I? I am consciously sharing needs to know. It's not that they want to know. Everybody wants to know, but they need to know. How did they become so intense? Many of you are chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. Who did this come from? Acharya Bhishma. What does Bhishma mean? The one who's intense. Your need to know has come from your own nobility. Your noble living in this life and past lives has made you need to know that there's more to life than meets the eye. as well as grace. In reference to a guide, we are Kripa Patram. Try to remember that. Kripa Patram. Kripa means grace, Patra means a vessel. But the etymology of the word Patram means patanat trayate. That which prevents one from slipping, falling. That is a most lovely thought. It is grace that prevents you and I from slipping, from falling. My need to know about the divine has come from my nobility and grace. Then what do? I seek a guide. I have the humility that I can't learn what life is, what my nature is, just through my own intellection. So I seek a teacher. Then when I find a teacher, I serve that teacher. Why? Why is service emphasized in our culture? Service is an opportunity to convert values to virtues. Here in Seattle, I'm facilitating a workshop on right action with right attitude. And part of what I'll be sharing today, as you associate, so you think. As you think, so you develop. By serving a guide, you're associating with that guide and you're nurturing the same virtues. When one is critically virtuous, that is when one's mumukshutva, passion for peace, that can't be curtailed then. One has a singular purpose, ananya bhakti, but see the genesis of all of this. And we are getting to see precedent of this in Prince Arjuna. Feel the passion with which he wants to feel Shri Krishna. Verse 14. Tatasa vismaya vishtaha hrishta roma dhananjayaha pranamya shirasa devam kritanjalira bhasata. Verse 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 verses are describing Shri Krishna in general and specifically tataha. Then what happened? All of you at the end of December, when you saw this cosmic form that we had screen shared, when you had seen that, many of you wrote to me that you weren't expecting that and it brought tears to you. Now that was a screen share over Zoom. What was Prince Arjuna feeling? Saha, he, vismaya avishtaha, he was filled with wonder, ashcharya. He was filled with, I don't know, and really I don't care. I don't know what my name is. I don't know what we're here in this war for, and I don't care. I have a passion for peace. I have a singular love for you. Hrishta Roma Dhananjaya. There's that word Dan again. See? And Hrishta Roma means his hair is standing on end. When does our hair stand on end? In horror movies. When our tires slip on the ground. In our culture, what's shared is when you have your hair stand on end and you're crying, but you're feeling hotter, then that's happening from a negative reason. But when your hair is standing on end, when you're crying, but it's all cooling, then it's happening for the divine. So his hair standing on end is a cooling hair standing on end, not like in chapter 1. It has changed. The homeostasis is kicking in. Yet all of the physicians are thinking that right now. Stop thinking so logically. Pranamya Shirasa Devam. And Prince Arjuna bows his head. That same head that was looking down out of dejection is now bowing out of love. Because he has the understanding, whose head is this? Whose head is it? Sri Krishna has already shared that it's Sri Krishna's head. And that's why I've been describing to all of you the importance of how you've come to where you are, that you are a disciple. Prince Arjuna is losing his sense of I. That is his problem, that he feels he's an individual, and now he's losing this sense of I because of the greatness of Sri Krishna and the beyondness of Sri Krishna. Kritanjalihi abhasata. He did speak, but how did he speak? Anjalihi means when your hands are both like this, okay? And it's implying wholeheartedness, that I'm giving all in an open way. You know, like when someone gives you something with a closed way like this, it's very secretive, and it's not all, but you're giving all in a wholehearted way. So what does he give? More contemplative verses are coming. From inspiration to application. Your application recently was to support the Trevor Project, which many of you are. Today in the workshop this evening, as I speak about the right attitude, I'll be explaining this in a framework of 5 parts. You check yourself on this. Sing, seek, support, serve, surrender. What's the least right attitude? Just singing about it. We sing about equality amongst young people. What is the right attitude? You surrender where you belong to this purpose. And what's the in-between point? Support. Sing, seek, support, where you're actually sacrificing for this purpose. Your application for this morning is I do want you to contemplate on verses 9 through 13. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 verses with 5 descriptions of Sri Krishna. Now we're shifting into a different sentiment. Make sure you can feel that diversity on unity or in unity. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.